Let's make my Flurries quilt pattern. 1 layer cake and 1/4 yard of background fabric will yield you a 48-inch by 56-inch quilt. Feel free to substitute your background fabric for a fat quarter if you would prefer. Now for the fabrics, I am using Cozy and Magical from Art Gallery Fabrics and Deco Stitch in the color Cloud. Now, although I am using holiday prints, this pattern will look amazing in all fabrics. This pattern is very universal. Now with your background yardage, you will subcut 84 2.5-inch squares. Then with a 42 count layer cake, which are 10-inch squares, you will subcut 2 2.5-inch by 4.5-inch rectangles and 2 4.5-inch by 6.5-inch rectangles. And that's it. Pretty simple and easy. All you'll have to do is repeat this step to all of your 42 count 10-inch squares. Once everything is cut, you will take 1 2.5-inch by 4.5-inch rectangle and 1 background 2.5-inch square. On the wrong side of your background square, you will draw a line from corner to corner at a 45-degree angle. Then you will place the background square right sides together on your rectangle on the left side. And pay close attention to the line direction shown here. Then you will sew directly on that line. And once you have done so, you will use a rotary cutter or fabric scissors to cut 1/4 inch away from that line that you just sewn. Your rectangle will still remain as a 2.5-inch by 4.5-inch rectangle. Now go ahead and repeat this step until you have made 2 matching print units. Once you have those 2 units, you will take 2 4.5-inch by 6.5-inch rectangles in the same print and place everything like so. Then you will sew your 2.5-inch by 4.5-inch rectangles to the larger rectangle, followed by your rectangle units together to form a 8.5-inch square. Then all you have to do is repeat these steps until you have made a total of 42 quilt blocks. And once all of your blocks are made, you will lay them out side by side in a 6x7 layout. You will rotate every other block 90 degrees. Then as always, sew your blocks together to form rows. And then lastly, sew your rows together to complete your quilt top. And here is what my quilt top looks like all completed. For the backing, I am going with a bold coordinated print from within the collection. And for the thread choice, I am going with glide threads in the color Bone. And here is what my Flurries quilt pattern looks like all quilted. For the quilting, I went with my Santa Baby edge-to-edge pattern, which I love because this pattern repeats at a 45-degree angle. It is not your average to normal nesting style. But I do hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. If you could please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for your next amazing quilt project.